Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be going over the best lead generation system that can help you bring in qualified leads that don't waste your time. Okay, the reason I'm making this video is because I've seen that a lot of contractors are spending their money on lead sharing sites like Angis, Home Advisor, Thumbtack, and they just end up wasting a lot of time, a lot of money, and make very little profits. So I thought I'd show you guys a better way to do things. I'll show everything. I'll show you exactly what to do step by step so that you can implement this on your own without having to pay or hire anybody else to do this for you. Okay, so let's dive right into it. And before I go into the step by step, I just want to share some proof to know what I'm talking about. As you can see, we have clients here that said they closed 4 jobs this week from Facebook through our system. This guy's booked out 5 weeks. This guy closed $7,700 job. This guy closed $71,000. This guy closed 92,000, 48,000. They closed 37,000. Yeah, and whatever. There's results just to show you that I know what I'm talking about and that you can actually implement this to make more money for your business. Okay, but let's talk about the true cost of lead platforms now. Okay, so a lot of people just focus on the annual cost, right? You go ahead and you're investing 600 to 3,000 per month on these platforms, getting a ton of leads, and you think it's working because you're seeing all these leads come in, but then you realize you can't close any of them because they'll tell you they found a cheaper price or they're not really ready to move forward or whatever other excuse they come up with, right? So you ultimately are paying for unqualified leads, right? The thing with lead sharing companies that most people don't realize is that they work, right? They do what they're supposed to do, which is get you leads, but they're made for getting you volume, for getting you a lot of leads. They're not made for getting you quality leads, which is where the problem lies. When you're a company that is sub 5 to 10 million a year, you don't need to be talking to 100 people a month. You need to be talking to a few people that fit with what your ideal customer looks like, meaning the budget, the type of project, the location, and a couple other factors that are dependent on your company. But you should not be spending so much money or so much time on people that are not worth it, okay? Because time is like a very valuable asset that you have. So you need to be spending it in a smart way, right? You start off in the field and you realize, okay, this I'm spending this time on the field and I'm not able to grow the company because I'm working inside the business, right? So you work on it and you get out of the field. But then you can't replace that time on the field with talking to people that are unqualified because it's the same amount of time wasted, right? So let's do some math here, right? So let's say it costs you 2 hours per lead, including the call, drive, measurement, quote, and you get 30 leads a month from these lead platforms. So 30 times 2 hours is 60 hours per month, right? 60 hours per month. Right? So you're only closing, let's say, 2 to 3 jobs out of those, which is a fair assessment, about 10%. So that is 54 hours wasted on people that probably weren't a good fit for you. And let's say 40, right? Let's just say 40, just because sure, some of them may have been qualified. They just weren't ready or someone else did a better job at selling them. So it's fine. Let's say 40 hours time waste. That's still a full work week of wasted time on tire kickers and people that did not qualify for your business. So that's why you have to be more protective of your time and more strict on who you allow into your business. Okay? Because you're losing over 40 hours a week on these tire kickers, right? So every hour that you are chasing these bad leads, it's an hour you could have been working on qualified projects, improving your business and your systems, or just spending time with your family. So you need to be more aware of what your qualification system looks like. And that's what I'm going to be breaking down in this video, right? So some success stories, again, just so you know that I know what I'm talking about. We have Andres. He was spending $12,000 on Yelp in, I think, a month or two, and he only made 20,000 back. Same idea. He got leads that were not qualified or didn't get enough leads and therefore didn't make enough money to cover his investment. He worked with us. He booked 700 plus qualified estimates in 2 years. He closed 1.5 million plus in that time frame. And he made a 52x return on investment, which is pretty solid. We have Jeremy. He was struggling with Home Advisor. He was getting a lot of price shoppers. He couldn't find good leads. He went at our system. He made $250,000 his first year with us, and he only invested $7,000 on ads. And then Juan, he was making $9,000 a month. He was door knocking, just trying to talk to anybody he could. He implemented our system. he made $300,000 in just 2.5 months, right? So having a good qualification system in place, it's very important, right? Sure, like the ads we run help us in terms of getting eyeballs into our system, but the actual system is what helps us get those qualified leads. It's not the ads, it's the backend system. So that's what I'm going to break down in this video. So here's the qualification difference, right? So lead platforms are going to sell the same lead to 5 or 10 other contractors. And you already know this, right? They're going to make money regardless of the lead quality. So if they're getting you 30 leads a month, you're still paying them, right? It doesn't matter if you're making money or not. Then they force you into bidding wars because since they send the same lead to 5 or more contractors, all these leads are automatically going to look at you based on your price. If your price is higher than the guy next door, sorry, they're going to go with the other guy, right? Just because there's no differentiator in the process of lead platforms, because everybody is coming to them through the same portal, right? There's no way to make yourself look different unless you have like a very solid sales process, but it's unlikely that it will work on these leads because they're naturally looking to get a lot of quotes in the first place. And of course, they don't filter for budget or intent. So if a lead wants a full outdoor remodel, but their budget is 5,000, it's probably not going to be a good fit, but they're not qualifying for that. Therefore, you won't know until you spend time working on this lead, right? Then the qualification funnel, right? We have targeted ads that speak to ideal customers. That's the first barrier of qualification is what we show and what we say on the ad. For example, we had clients run ads that showed a starting price of $15,000. It still worked great. They got clients that were willing to spend the money. And at the end of the day, he didn't have to waste time with target across people that had a budget of less than 15,000, right? Because it was right there on the ad. Therefore, if someone had less than 15,000 to invest into their project, they simply knew that it wasn't a fit for them, which is fine. Then we have custom landing pages with your branding, and that helps us differentiate yourself from other guys that are running ads or, doing whatever they're doing to get leads, right? Because since you have a landing page that has your branding, your photos, your reviews, there's so much social proof, so much trust packed into that page that people have kind of this feeling of trust already by the time they meet you, which is a huge part when it comes to selling. Then, of course, we have the qualification survey, and this one literally just filters out tire kickers. So if your minimum price or your minimum for project is 5,000 or 10,000, if someone chooses an option lower than that, we just let them know that it's not a good fit, right? We just kick them out and they can't talk to you. They just don't have access to you anymore. And then, of course, only qualified leads will get a chance to book on your calendar. So again, you're not wasting time with unqualified leads. And of course, we have automated follow-ups to nurture those leads if they aren't ready yet. So at the end of the day, our goal is for you to focus on leads that or people that are closer to being ready to get started rather than having to chase and call people that may not be ready to move forward yet, right? Again, saving a lot of time and just making sure you're focusing on the homeowners that are more qualified and have a higher intent to moving forward. All right. Now, here's the qualification framework. So the first step is targeted advertising. So we specifically target your ideal customer profile. We talk with the clients about this, but what you have to do is kind of figure out who it is you want to work with. Is it people that have these huge budgets and want to do full backyard models? Do you want more smaller, quick turnaround jobs? Do you want just concrete jobs? Figure out what you want. Okay. Then you have to showcase your best work because people want to see that you're able to do a great job from the get-go, okay? Be clear about the project types you offer and the quality. Just be very honest, very upfront. Don't try to have special offers to attract a lot of leads and then try to charge them more or do something weird like that. And then this is the first level of filtering, right? This is the very first level because this is what people will see about your company. Right? Again, if you want projects that are worth 10K and up and you're advertising a minimum price of 1,200, it's not going to work, right? The second level of qualification or filtering is step 2, where you have logos, colors, project photos, right? You're establishing the authority, you're establishing trust, you're showing people I'm a real business. I'm not going to go here for a cheap quote. You can see we do real work. We're a real company. Okay. And then the last step is the qualification survey, right? So here we just ask strategic questions about the project type, the budget range, even the budget flexibility, right? To get a very clear profile on who you're going to talk to, okay? And from there, we have our automated booking and follow-ups. That way you're not wasting time with people that are not ready to move forward or, having to call and chase and do all these things just to get a yes or a no. Rather, we take care of that There's different ways you could do this for yourself. There's Zapier, there's other softwares that could automate messages if you want to look into those and set that up for yourself. But I highly recommend you do it because as a business owner, your time should not be spent chasing people that don't seem to be as interested. You want to talk to those that already took that step to speaking with you, like booking an appointment. All right. So here are measurable results in ROI. So booking rates from lead platforms versus the qualification system that we offer. So on the lead platform is about 25%. And we just said this because we have clients that still pay for those lead platforms and we funnel them into our system. And we can see very clearly differences in the metrics. So from a lead platform, about 25% of leads will book in an appointment. From the qualification system is 75%. Reason being that our system qualifies people a lot harder. So less leads come in, but more of them convert, right? Then close rate, lead platform is about 12% because they don't trust you. They're getting multiple leads or multiple companies sending them a quote, and it just hurts your close rate. With the qualification system, because they're qualified, because they've seen your work and all these other things we send them, it's higher, it's 35%. And the ROI for lead platform is about a 2, which kind of sucks. For us, it's 25x right now. So very solid differences, to be honest with you guys. So you really want to make sure that you're implementing something like this for your business, right? So let's go over how to implement it into your business, right? So first you want to define your ideal client profile. Like I said before, you want to know who it is that you are talking to or who it is that you want to talk to. If you don't know who this is, then figure it out before you start running ads or start doing any marketing, because your marketing needs to be focused on that person and only that person. Then you want to set up a professional landing page. You could use things that like Unbounce, WordPress, ClickFunnels, whatever it is that you want to use, you can use. Just make sure it's a branded page, meaning it has your logo, your colors, your project photos, and that it builds trust. Add reviews, add videos of you and your guys working. Show people that you're a real company. Then from there, we have then from there, you want to create a strategic qualification survey. You want to ask questions that matter to you in figuring out if someone is qualified or not. Again, it can be budget, location, budget flexibility, how they're going to go about choosing a quote, right? Things like that help you figure out, is this someone that I want to work with or not? Then from there, you want to have a direct booking system. You can use Calendly for this, just embed it into your landing page after they submit the survey. And if they qualified, amazing, they can just go ahead and just pick a date in time to speak with you. And worst case scenario, for example, I hear this a lot. If the time that they chose doesn't work, just call them up and let them know. It's fine. It's not a big problem. All right. Then set up automated follow-ups. Again, you could use things like Calendly. They have automated follow-ups for bookings, and you could use other CRMs. They probably offer that, like Jobber, stuff like that. And ensure that no leads are going to fall through just because you didn't have time. Because again, your time needs to be spent on leads that booked in that appointment. If someone didn't book the appointment, it probably means either they got busy and didn't find a time that worked, or they weren't ready to move forward. So if you send a follow-up to someone that is ready, just weren't able to book in for some reason, they will respond and book it in then. If someone isn't interested, they'll ignore your follow-ups. So instead of you having to spend that time following up and texting and thinking what you're going to text, just have it automated so you're not worried about it. And lastly, you want to launch ad campaigns that are targeted to who you want to work with, which we figured out right here. Okay. And now this is something, if you need more eyeballs into your business, if you're good, if you have like a lot of people searching for you and stuff like that, it's fine. Just make sure to add these steps to your marketing, your website, so that when you're talking to a lead, they're not, unqualified. Okay. Now, if you want to work with us, we can definitely do this for you. We have custom ad campaigns for your ideal client. We have professional brand landing pages that we built for you, strategic qualification survey. So we do everything that I just mentioned. We do it for you and you don't have to worry about it. We have AI-powered follow-ups so that it's custom for each lead that comes in, so it feels more natural, right? And of course, we report to you every week and optimize every week so that there's always leads coming in. There's always appointments coming in. And of course, the goal here is that you're always getting projects for your business. All right. So at the end of the day, you want to build a business that works for you, not against you, right? You don't want to have to work and do all these things that you don't like doing, like, again, chasing leads, trying to call them, texting. It's just annoying most of the time because you know that if you have to chase someone, they're not going to be a great client most of the time. And you want to connect with homeowners who value quality instead of just a cheap price, right? So that's why you want to have that qualification system in place over just letting anyone come through into your business, all right? So it's some take action. Just make sure to actually use the things I just shared with you. They're very valuable. They're very useful. And I can tell you because we're working with tons of clients and our average ROI is 25x. So that's a very good outcome. All right. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to subscribe down below. And if you want to work with us, there's a link down below where you can book a call with me specifically, where we'll go into your marketing systems. We'll figure out the best way to get you what you need, and we'll see if we're a good fit to help you make that happen. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.